All right. Dude, did you hear about OJ Simpson? Just real quick.
That he's not Jewish.
Well, he's not alive either.
Yeah, I heard.
It's pretty wild. I mean, his time was coming. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Um, what I found interesting though is there's like an old news reporter that was covering the story back in the day,
Mhm.
and he found an interview with one of the jury people that was on the jury. I
Mhm.
guess it's come out that there's a connection between OJ Simpson and the Rodney King case. And like I wasn't too familiar about it, so I kind of got some cliff notes on it. And the Rodney King case was about basically Rodney King getting the shit beat out of him for being black
Yeah.
and being profiled, and then that cop got off on it. It's they he basically they said the cop was in the right. He didn't get whatever. He didn't get arrested or thrown in jail like the dude in Minnesota. um, but what they were saying is they were asked, so when it came to OJ, was there any connection with Rodney King? And this lady said, yeah. And they're like, was it like payback? And she said, yeah. About 90% of the jurors felt this way. Basically, they let OJ Simpson get away with murder because that white cop got away with murder, which is that's fucking race wars at its finest, people.
Yeah.
With that said, welcome to episode 71 of Tell It Right podcast. I'm Mike. That's Jared.
That's me.
And we're getting into some fucking shit tonight. Nothing to do with, what's his face? OJ.
OJ's.
Rest in peace, OJ. We're done with you now. It's time for business. So if you've been following Tell It Right podcast for a bit, you've caught a few episodes where Jared tears into me for not fucking watching Aliens or the movie Alien, Aliens, Aliens 3,
Any of them.
any of
Yeah.
them, Resurrection, Prometheus,
Yeah.
and so forth. Well, guess what, everybody? I finally did that. I finally took the plunge and I've watched the entire Aliens franchise. I now have skin in the game for the Aliens franchise. So let's get into it.
Hopefully it's not well, it's not foreskin, that's for sure.
No, it's
Not
not. That
foreskin
was
in the
that
game.
was taken away about 36 years ago. Yeah.
Oh. Oh well.
Fuck you, mom and dad. That was mine. You had no right to get rid of that.
I'm telling you, somebody's got some eyelids.
Somebody's got some eyelids for sure. I mean, it is what it is. All right, so let's get into it, man. So I was on Disney Plus. That's like where I find all my Hulu shit nowadays because of the merger. And I discovered that Aliens or Alien, and then like pretty much the rest of them were available on Disney. So I got into it, and oh man, it's a fucking wild movie. I just want to get out there and say like it's actually like from everything I've seen, I think it's a great storyline. I'm trying to think. I think there was one that was just like I want to say it was what's the one where the Aliens 3? I thought that one was dumb.
That one was
Um
weird. That's for sure.
yeah. But the rest of them I thought were pretty good.
hmm Uh,
So yeah.
my
No, no,
my least favorite is actually Resurrection.
oh, with Winona?
Yeah, I think that one was like if you were to classify each movie, one, Alien was a horror movie, right? It was scary,
Right.
shit. Uh, the second one was an action movie. The third one was, I don't know. It had a weird vibe to it. It was still kind of like a horror movie, I guess you could say. But
But it was mainstream by then, and so
yeah,
like
Yeah.
I felt like
Yeah.
it was that Indiana Jones where he had like he didn't have the original chick, he had the other chick.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah. 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 It
Yeah,
was
that's
like
kind of how I felt about 3. Yeah. It's
yeah,
just
and
like, eh.
then Resurrection, I think, was kind of, I don't know. It was like that one was definitely commercialized. It was kind of a money grab thing. Let's throw a bunch of famous people in it and see what we can't. We'll just make a weird, fucking, really futuristic. That one's supposed to be set like what 200 or 300 years past Alien 3, I think, something crazy like that.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right because they're cuz Winona was the let me adjust my sound here. I'm probably a little loud. Um Winona, she was the synth, right? Or the
Yeah,
AI?
yeah, yeah. And she was like, "Oh, you've been dead for who knows how many years," because they were cloning shit out in the
Yeah.
middle, wherever.
They're doing a bunch of David shit right there. That's what
Yeah.
David would have done.
So those
Prometheus.
that movie was like, and it had some like comedy shit to it. I didn't really care. That's probably like my least favorite one, other than
Even
the
with
fact.
Ron Perlman?
I was gonna say, other than the fact that it has Ron Perlman in it, like can't go wrong with Ron. But I don't know,
Yeah.
the acting in that kind of sucked. It was very like that one you could tell was like filmed in Britain. Like there's ways you can tell like when certain movies are filmed in certain places. Like Alien is
Yeah.
actually a very like I think all of the franchise was filmed in England
The
or
entire
Europe
franchise?
or something. I know
That makes
Alien
sense.
was. I have a feeling that Resurrection was, and I have a feeling that Alien 3 was too. I don't know about Aliens. That's a James Cameron. You know how James Cameron
Dude, yeah,
does.
he's wild.
Yeah.
He's
So
wild.
yeah, I mean it's. But then like for me, that so Resurrection was kind of like comedy, whatever, just kind of a blow off. I like
Yeah.
Prometheus and um, Covenant, but those were kind of I don't know.
That's
They
what
were
I
almost too close to the same movie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like it didn't progress. It just kind of I don't know. It told the same tale. They land on a different planet. They find the alien. Blah blah blah, and then it takes over. It wasn't like progressive to the storyline.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Ridley Scott did yeah, or Ripley Scott or no,
Ridley,
Ridley. No,
Ridley.
Ripley's the
Yeah,
chick. No, Ridley. Yeah, he started. I think he did I have that listed? Did he direct?
yeah. He did the first
Yeah.
movie and then the Prometheus and
In Covenant too, right?
Covenant. Yeah,
He's not doing. I know he's not doing the one that's coming out this year. He's gonna.
he's a
He's like
producer on it.
right.
Yeah.
What I will say is, I did notice that the movie's been written by like the same guy, or at least one of the writers is consistent with all of the movies.
Mhm.
Dan O'Bannon.
Yeah.
So that's always a good thing, you know. He's a fucking vet. He knows what he's doing, but yeah, I don't know. Aliens 3 was just kind of like,
It wasn't
okay,
for
you're
me.
on a prison planet. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
you're gonna die. You're all gonna die. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think it was creepy as fuck though.
Yeah.
Like it,
I didn't watch. I ended up like turning it off. I was like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm
I
just
mean,
like, fuck this one.
it wasn't the best one, but like the scary portions of it were pretty freaking scary. Like the thing
Yeah.
like running and it would like run on the ceilings after the people. Because I mean, the whole idea is that the alien kind of takes traits from whatever it's impregnated into, and that one got into the
Oh.
dog, so it ran more like a dog and it ran around that way.
See, I didn't catch that stuff.
Yeah.
That little detail. All I caught was in Covenant that the uh the xenomorphs basically were like a originally all organic. So in Prometheus, they were all organic. By the time you got the Covenant, David had like integrated them with machinery or like a mechanical organic being or something. So it's like basically a transformer in a way,
Yeah.
but it's not. It doesn't transform into things, but it's got like these appendages that like move like they are kind of like robotic but like organic at the same time. Like it looks like that black sheen makes it look like a metal like and then
Yeah.
but it just moves like a fucking scorpion or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck you would call like what is that compared to? It's like they took like the big head alien with the small eyes and the small mouth and then they just like fucking stretched it backwards or something. They're like we're going to give this guy a fucking hammerhead. He's going to
Well,
fucking hammer shit in.
what's even creepier? So like in the first movie, they call him Big Chap. That's
Yeah.
that's the nickname for the alien in that movie. They were just a giant, big, like super tall, skinny, weird thing that would just kind of creep around. The
Yeah.
second one, they were more beastly, if you will. But if you look at it, like the designer of the alien in the second movie, if you if and you can see it in some of the models,
Yeah.
like you can see through the alien's like outer top of the head, and there's a skull that runs it, but it's got like a human skull face at the very front of it. Because again, it takes over the traits of things that.
Right.
So there's like actually like a human looking face, almost like so in the Alien, what's it called, uh, Resurrection, how that
Yeah.
humanoid kind of alien came out that was birthed. It almost has that type of face where it's like that like skeleton nose, like pig nose thing, but it's underneath that
Yeah.
that banana head. It's creepy as fuck, but you can't see it unless you see like certain portions of it in light. But
Yeah.
let's go over each movie, break them
Yeah,
down.
let's
Now that
get
we kind of
to
covered it.
let's get to Alien.
Okay,
79 or 78.
9, 9.
I have 9 written down, but I think it's 78.
Yeah, it might be something.
No, it's 79. No, I wrote 78. I'm retarded. Everybody, so you know I'm retarded.
So this is coming out around the same time frame as Star Wars. Imagine you see
Yeah.
Star Wars and you see this. Like this is
It's like
pretty good. I mean, for
family version. Hey man, if you want some good sci-fi, go check out Star Wars, man. It's pretty good. But man, if you want the shit that's gonna make you fucking like crap your pants, yeah, see this new movie by Ridley Scott called Alien.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you won't sleep for fucking days, bro.
well, it's I mean, so it rolls out like the beginning of the movie's almost like what was that?
Space Odyssey.
Odyssey, yes.
I love that. Yeah, that's what I love about this movie actually is it has that Space Odyssey like creepy vibe to it, that quietness. You just like you hear the tapping of the feet on the ship, right? And there's just like really no other dialogue or any sounds. It's just like this bland fucking like somebody just doing their fucking job on a spaceship, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting. And then it like it really builds up to it because it just like everything seems fine. Like I think a good scene is right when they get out of the pods and they're all fucking sitting there just eating breakfast or whatever, you know, out of the Tupperware containers and all the dried out foods. And they're all fucking bullshitting. The one dude's like, I want more fucking money. What about those bonuses, motherfucker?
Shares. I need more shares.
Yeah.
I
And all,
think we should get a full share. He's all
you're
about-
going to get what you're contracted for.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my Tom Skerritt, by the way. You're going to get what you're contracted for. It's nowhere close.
So Yeah, it starts out. It's kind of actually kind of slow at the beginning. Like if you didn't know what you were in for, as far as the movie goes, I would
It
say that
got
it's
you.
kind of like, ugh, this is boring as shit. Then they land on the planet because they find there's like a signal that comes in,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that
So I guess like something that we should bring up is like something that's consistent with all the movies is that all these ships have an AI interface with it. So there's like in this movie it's called Mother. Wasn't the other movie, wasn't it called Father or something like that?
I don't know.
But even back to it, like Mother, like there it's that name is significant throughout this whole entire franchise
Yeah,
because it gets to like with these beings and all that and like who they are and how they operate. Like they do speak to a queen or something, right? We'll find out. But like yeah, Mother though is the one who stopped the mission to go back, or so they were on their way back to Earth, and they had a fucking payload of something, and so Mother stopped it halfway because she detected this like SOS thing,
yeah.
and so. But then the company has this thing in their writing in part of the contract that, hey, there's like a distress beacon or something, you guys have an obligation to check it out. If you
Yeah.
don't, you don't get paid and all that. So like I think that's really interesting. It's almost like to me like I feel like the AI in this movie is behind everything too. And that's why like when Prometheus and Covenant come out or when they came out or actually well I saw those first or I saw Prometheus first, but once I saw this I started like kind of connecting the dots like it's like it's these AIs that keep fucking doing like the craziest shit and getting these humans. It's like cuz I mean like David in the one movie was
Mhm.
like why should we let these people live? Like why not create a perfect society? He was just gonna create these fucking beasts that would just listen to him,
Well, I think
essentially.
a lot of it has to do with the programming too, because there's the corporation that owns all this, which is Wayland Yutani,
Yeah,
and they actually like so they own the ship that Ripley's on in the first
right.
movie. They own the all the shit that's the operation in the second movie, so on and
Hmm.
so forth. Even in the third movie, they come in and I think Wayland Yutani owns the prison that they're on this planet and shit.
Hmm.
So the when you look into like what Wayland Yutani does, like they do like
Wait,
all
say the
kinds.
name again.
It's Wayland Yutani.
Wayland
Or the
Utani.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you'll see a big W with a Y in it
Right. Right.
on shit. But so Wayland, it was the guy who created like David and everything. What's his name? And he's in Prometheus,
Yeah.
right? And so there's all kinds of shit. And then once you get past this and actually watch like Alien versus Predator, there's another. It's all reference to Wayland Yutani in there, but I think that's part of like they in the first one there wasn't really the back end of the story to kind of go with it, but the AI, all of it is like when you hear what's his face, the robot guy, when they beat him up and they restarted him and he starts talking about how the company like they made him come with so that he would like force them to go to this planet.
Wait,
Like
are you talking about Paul Reese and Aliens? Did I miss something?
no, in the first movie, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
The android guy that's played by what's his face?
Ash. Yeah, by
Yeah,
Ian Holmes.
yeah,
Bilbo Baggins.
yeah. Dildo Saggins. Uh,
Dildo Saggins. I love that name.
so
Hashtag Dildo Saggins.
so he talks about the company in that, like they say mother, but what they're really doing is getting information from the company. And even in the second movie, that's what happens. Is the company That's why they send what's his face Paul
Yeah.
Reiser with because the company has an investment. They want him to get these aliens.
And that's another element to this movie that I think is pretty good is this mysteriousness of the company. Like,
Yeah.
who is the company? Yeah, it's whatever the name you just said. I can't pronounce it again. Is
Wayland Utani.
Wayland Utani, right? So
Yes.
that's the company. But like, who are the people behind it? And we have to assume this is like a big corporation. There's not like one leader. It's just people that have worked there for hundreds of years, sort of
Yeah.
deal. Time after time, changeover after changeover. But they're like this mysterious, like, they're like the overseers. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they like know what's going to happen. They
It's
know
like
what's out there.
It's like
They
Bob
like
Rock.
know. Right. And so, like, it's just like, I don't feel like it's ever been explained in any of the movies, but it's like the company is behind everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they know about this, they want this, because then you see in Aliens, Paul Reiser comes out and he's like, "Oh, dude, there's all this biowarfare shit that we can make money off of." It's like, what the fuck are you saying right now, man? You're just basically saying you want to kill people. you know. So yeah, it's just like that's like another eerie element to it. It's just like you're taking these orders from this faceless being or entity,
Yeah. Yeah.
mother or Wayland UTI or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The Wayland UTI. That's like that's when something jumps out of your fucking chest.
And
By
your
the way.
pee hole.
Yeah, out of your pee hole when you got the Wayland UTI.
So yeah, I mean, so there's the company, the Shadow Company, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But in Alien, um, so like I said, it was really slow to get going, but then like, they find the ship and all this and that. The guy gets the thing on his face. And again, it's still even slow then, until the thing dies. Falls off his face and dies. That's when the movie actually picks up, and it's probably actually a good 45 minutes into the movie that this happened.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like Space Odyssey. Like nothing happens until like an hour into it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this is why I saw the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, Space Odyssey is still like after an hour into it, you're like, the fuck is going on? But no, this one, yeah, no, like once that started happening, yeah.
Like the guys in the tunnels and stuff, like close this hatch behind me, or Tom Skerritt.
Yeah.
And then, like the one dude's like getting water dripped on his face, and the thing just like comes down, like behind him. Like that's scary as fuck. And
that's another.
It was really good cinematography.
Yeah, and that's another interesting thing is that whole species like just drenched in like liquid goo all the time. It's like, where the fuck is this coming from? Like, it must have pores. It's just fucking excreting like goo constantly, and then if you cut it, it's like fucking acid. That's like another like crazy like idea. Like, I wonder if they were just in a fucking room, just like sitting at a round table, like, so like, how do we want to like make the alien? Oh, dude, let's just give it like acid blood. Like, fuck it, dude. That's scary. All right, man, fuck it, let's do it.
Well, I mean,
we'll have the dude.
The idea was, they had to make the perfect bio weapon, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a robot. So then, what are naturally occurring things that would make it dangerous and have good defenses, but also,
and then make it completely opposite to a human too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Maybe there's like a queen, man. That shit's big. These ain't ants, man. It's like a beehive, and no, there's like an ant hive. Bees, man. Bees have hive.
But no, like, yeah, like, so at the end of Alien though, like, that was another thing that I thought was like fucking great about the movie. So she ends up getting her cat Jonesy back
Mhm.
to the shuttle, and then they leave, and I'm like sitting there like, nah, it's too good to be true.
Yeah,
Like she barely did anything. Like they
yeah,
barely fucking fought. She just literally like the thing was looking at or about to eat the cat. She ran around. The thing ran off. She grabbed the cat and then she went on the ship and left. And I'm like, nah, this can't be it. But like at the time, it just seemed like, nah, everything's working out. This movie's about to fucking end, right? And then that motherfucker, dude, burrowed up into the shuttle. She blows up a $1 trillion ship, and this fucker is just in a fucking crevice, just laying there like, I'm gonna get you. Here's my little head. You know.
yeah,
But then, like, you know what? She fucking did the airlock.
yeah.
That was her last fight. She's like, no, we're done. I'm getting this suit on. You're going out the airlock, you fucking piece of shit. And he left. And he got burnt up on the way out.
Yeah.
And then, like, so I think it's important to touch up on these cryopods. This is a big part of all these movies because this is how they travel and whatnot.
Mhm.
But the biopods are like, I don't know if it's like some kind of symbolism or whatever or symbology. um, but like, it's just like every time she gets into that fucking cryo thing, she wakes up in another nightmare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so okay, so now we've ended aliens. Alien. She says she writes in the log, "Hey, I'm probably gonna be in like human contact in the next 2 weeks, and I'll make it. You know, you guys will get me, and like expecting to be home in like the next month. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we start Aliens 2 now.
Yeah.
50 fucking 7 years later, she wakes up with the goddamn cat, and now they're like, yeah, bro, it's 57 years later, and we want to know why the fuck you blew up a $1 trillion spacecraft there.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think
uh,
so. One of the coolest things, and it's like, so this is where, and you don't think of it, but when directors really pay attention to detail, it really goes a long way. If you look on, um, at the beginning of Aliens,
by the way, James Cameron movie.
yeah, James
So
Cameron.
this is where
So
detail comes into play.
when at first they're like cutting the door, you can see where the tether from that thing that she shot is still stuck in the door as they're cutting it. Remember, she shot that tether thing at it, like
Oh
the pontoon
yeah,
thing. If you look real close, you can see like that rope still jammed in the door from when she shut it. So like,
interesting.
so they cut that and then they like scan and all that, and that was crazy. And because it was a deep salvage team, I guess, that found her.
Right, and they
But
randomly found her.
yeah,
Randomly, I'm
yeah,
sure the company knew exactly where she was.
they just let
They
her
know
live for
everything.
57 years. Um, so she gets out of that. Her daughter's dead because it's been 60 years. Her daughter was
Yeah,
already however old. And then,
she had a daughter.
yeah,
I didn't know that. I missed that.
yeah, it's at the. So what might the problem is there's a director's cut of Aliens that's like
Oh,
an extra hour long, and it actually
yeah.
goes. So if you watch the regular one, they're like, oh yeah, we lost contact with LV-426. There's a colony there. In the director's cut, they actually have like what happened to LV-426 in it, like how it got to that point.
Yeah.
So they actually went out and found that same spaceship that was in the first movie, and they were like some salvage team, and they went out there, and one of the guys on the salvage team got a face hugger on him, and then they brought him back, and so then they kept on going, and then the aliens took over. It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
forgot what they Hadley's Hope. What's the name of it? But they shows like there's bars and stuff there, and just you know. Anyway, so she had a daughter. She died.
Oh yeah.
She's called to consult because of what happened to LV-426, which I don't understand. Like I get it, like they want her to consult on it, but she really didn't know anything anyways. I don't. I think it might have been just to get rid of her, but I don't know.
I mean, we could say that's bad writing, but at the same time, if we just jump into that universe, like how I kind of look at it is like, again, like back to this corporation that has all this information. You know,
Mhm.
that's why data's gold, everybody. Like they were telling us in the 80s to not give away our data, and we fucking did it anyways.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. We're going to have a corporation that knows everything, and they're going to even know on the day we die because they're going to send us to our death. So that's yeah. I personally think there's like there's a higher entity with that. Like this is maybe fan speculation at this point.
Mhm.
There's probably nothing in writing about this, but in my opinion, there's an entity within the corporation that yeah, they just like they know everything and they know that she is a risk because like one of those things where it's like she might be able to like tell people and they might believe her. But like already, like look at what they did to her when she comes back. They dropped her down to like the lowest grade job you could have.
Yeah.
And she was a goddamn pilot. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so already like that corporation like they weren't showing her like respect. They weren't really welcoming her. They were like you destroyed over $1 billion worth of crap.
It was
And
like a way of offing her.
yeah, exactly. So now it's like Paul Reiser. So his character in the movie, he's some kind of exec that oversees something, and he wants to make sure that he gets the credit for it. So it's almost like I think because they caught her, they were able to get some more information, and then I don't know what exactly, but I just know that the corporation ended up colonizing that same planet. And then once they went offline, that's when all of a sudden they wanted to get over there and see what the hell was going on. After the fact, they just pulled her in that's been gone for 57 years.
Well, another thing too, like when they're on that, Ripley finds out that Burke, who's Paul Reiser's character,
Right.
ordered them to do a search of that area where they found that ship.
Spaceship? Yeah.
So again, in the director's cut, they're like, "Oh yeah, some suit says go do a site survey. We go do a site survey." Or we tell them what are we supposed to do, and they're like, it takes 2 weeks for them to get back to us, and their question or their answer is don't ask. So I don't ask. We just go out and do a site survey. So this is the
Yeah.
people on Hadley's Hope. So they go and do that site survey and come back and they have
Yeah.
an alien attached to them. So it was
Right.
him that sent them out over there, and I think his character, because he got that information from Ripley on LV-426, that
Yeah.
that yeah, kind of like what you said, he was bringing her with as a consultant, but
Really
ultimately it was
insurance.
for the offer.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Mhm.
It's just like get rid of her, but then be the hero with
But the
guys, I got the next weapon.
Yeah.
We're gonna rule the world, you know. But no, that thing is like it's like a plague. You shouldn't fuck around with it. Like you should just burn it the moment you see it because it's something that is gonna go wrong immediately.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
it's Aliens is my favorite, but there's a lot more depth to it. It doesn't start out slow. It gets right into it.
right?
It's
Well, that's the
action.
James Cameron touch
Yeah,
to it. I
yeah,
think. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I have no qualms with him actually directing that one. I think the Ridley Scott version before was great in its own way. And then like you said, it was the horror movie, and then it was just the Hollywood execs like, oh, let's make more money and make it an action movie.
Yeah,
But you got the right director, and it was worth it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
the
He's
only thing I will
an action
say,
movie guy.
right? The only thing I'll say is that's fucking retarded are the counterbalance gun arms that they're fucking wearing.
Why?
Like,
The smart guns? The
dude,
smart
I don't.
because it got the arm on it because it helps
It's
hold
a
the weight.
right. It's a counterbalance. Yeah, it's just a ridiculous size gun. Like, I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah, you don't
like,
need that.
right. I mean, you fucking carried a 50. You know what
Yeah,
I
it's
mean?
heavy as fuck though. I mean,
Yeah, but
with the amount of ammunition and whatnot, and it like you don't want
yeah.
to carry it. You would, but you don't
I
want
guess like I guess the like you don't take a 50 cal in that kind of like set, like you don't
to.
like
No,
infiltrate with a 50 cal. 50 cal is more of a defense thing. So if you're holding a line up, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like, and it's going to be tripoded and all that too at that point.
Well,
But yeah, like to go into like a tight space with it, like yeah, it
yeah.
would. That's probably not a good strategy unless you got the fucking arms.
Well, here's the thing. So it's a smart weapon. And
Mhm.
again, I mean, we could get really into it, like all of it. But the idea, so you see that they're wearing that little eye cup, like looks like a camera,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of thing. The weapon like tracks, so like it kind of steers wherever you're kind of looking because it's a smart gun.
Oh,
So that
that's
arm
intense.
actually is helping correct and make you aim better.
Ah,
So it's
that's my only
again, you
qualm
get
with the
way
movie.
into it. Yeah, it gets again. It's the action. You have to have something
Right, right.
badass.
You know, and that's the thing. Like, even though I'm like calling this out, it's not that like I think like it ruined the movie or anything. If anything, it made me enjoy it more because it's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
But like, dude, a lot of these movies nowadays, like, they get so logical with the weapons, and it's
right.
like, where's the fucking art in like these movies? Like, is that what everybody they like literally want to see how people fucking die? Like, like I liked it better when you know there was one dude and he takes out a whole fucking room of people, and like you
Yeah,
sit there like, there's no way. But nowadays it's like, you know, they get more realistic, like because one guy can't take out a room full of people. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I mean, they do. I mean, there are like fight scenes where one guy takes out like a shit ton of people. But I remember someone telling me, I don't even know what movie it was, some old 80s movie. A guy had a fucking Uzi, and there is like literally like 100 people trying to kill him, and he takes them all out with one Uzi, one clip. And
yeah,
it's just like how it was explained to me is the scene just kept going back to him just going firing at everybody, and then you just see people just like start fucking flailing to the ground and shit.
yeah,
And like those were the greats when they made the ridiculous shit like that, you know what I mean?
yeah. But it's yeah. I mean, it was very entertaining. The writing was good, like the storyline. I
Yeah,
think that's what made it kind of that's my favorite. And then Bill Paxton in there, like
sad he died,
yeah,
but
but he he had that comedic relief almost.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But
game over, man. Game over. Game over, man.
what are we gonna do now, man?
It's
They're gonna come in
game
here.
over.
They're gonna come in here and they're gonna kill us. They're gonna come in here and they're gonna kill us.
What was his name? Hudson?
Uh,
Or
yeah, Hudson.
Hudson, get your shit together. But no, like
But
Michael Bean played a good role in that.
Yeah.
I felt. I just hate how like he wasn't for Aliens 3,
Well,
you know?
yeah. But he
And that kind
but
yeah.
both him and Bill Paxton were both in James Cameron's Terminator, the first one,
Yeah, that's right.
because he was
Not a lot of people know about the Bill Paxton role in that.
yeah,
He
he's
was one of
short, the
yeah,
buff
and he
guys in the beginning.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
Small
the
minor
shortest.
role.
Yeah, it's a short role. So
Well,
Bill
that was
Paxton is
wasn't
the
it?
only or one of two people that's been killed by the Terminator, an alien, and a predator. Predator.
That sucks. I mean, that's cool actually. That's actually an honor.
That android guy in Aliens, he was in Terminator also.
Michael Fassbender
Yes,
or
he's in.
Ian Holm.
No. The robot in the second movie.
Oh, that guy. Never mind.
Um,
That I don't know who that. Hold on, I'll pull him up. I got IMDb up for that. He is Lance Hendrickson. He's
yeah,
Bishop.
yeah, Bishop. So he was in Terminator. He was one of the, um, what do you call him? He was one of the cops that helped Sarah
Oh,
Connor because there's the black guy and him in the police department.
yeah.
So then he's Bishop
Oh,
in
that makes
this.
sense now. Yeah.
So he's the only other person that's been killed by all three of those because he's in Alien versus Predator, which was with a later movie,
But
and
he doesn't
he
really
gets killed
die
by a
though.
predator. Yeah,
I mean, he's a robot. Like she brought him back and got
yeah.
info from him.
I mean,
I don't know. He's
let's just call it what he died.
he's like semi dead.
All right, then Bill Paxton then is the only one
Yeah,
that's technically killed, but good old Bill Paxton.
fucking Bill. Big love. Mormon. He is the perfect Mormon actor. I'll tell you. But so wrapping up Aliens. So again, at the end, we go back to the cryopods.
Yeah.
Now there's a little girl involved, which now makes sense. She lost her daughter. She found out she lost her daughter. So now I'm able to make this connection.
Yeah,
Didn't realize she had a daughter. So
it makes sense now, right?
right, why she wants to protect this little girl.
Yeah,
But
she's
man,
like that.
so yeah, so they all go on the thing, and again they're supposed to be back at Earth. But now she crashes again in Aliens 3. And Michael Bean's dead, and now the little girl is, so now it's time to move on and get into the next story that
Well,
I
yeah,
ended up not watching.
there was like a fire or something. Because remember, Paul Reiser's character was going to sabotage somebody's cryopods so they can like ride
Oh.
home. So something happened where there was a fire, and the system's computer just ended up launching them to save them. And
The
I guess
fire went out.
I guess an alien got onto her, and there was one like in the pod too or something, and that it launched, and that's what landed in the prison.
So an alien got itself in a pod, and because of that fire, launched it out. Now that prison planet was infected? Or
Something.
they all crashed on that same planet though, right? It's
Yeah.
just the two were or some were
They were
ejected
all on the same.
first.
No, they were all on the same pod. But
Yeah, or
I
ship,
don't.
whatever.
I don't remember the whole. There's a whole story at the very beginning, but it has to do with Paul Reiser's character sabotaging it, and like
Oh,
I
okay.
think that robot guy actually brought aliens back onto the not the Nostromo,
Oh.
Sulaco,
Because he was
big ship.
because he was stabbed and torn apart by him or whatever. And so
Yeah.
something got into him.
No. I think he brought aliens back with him on the flying ship
Oh.
because he was
Oh,
like
kind of like
researching
what
them.
yeah, like David and
Yeah.
Walter or whatever.
Yeah, kind of what Ash was programmed to do. I
Yeah.
think that's what ended up happening. I'm not 100%. Again, these are all books, so that's where the problem is. They leave out a
Yeah.
lot of detail, so like unless you read the book, it doesn't really go along with it. So 3 was okay. Again, it kind of was, I don't know. It had more of the horror feel to it, but it was slow and kind of far fetched almost.
Yeah.
You know, oh, there's a prison of all men on the in this one spot, and they're all abstinent, blah blah blah.
No. They're all doing gay shit. It just doesn't count
Yeah, I guess not. If you say no homo, it doesn't count.
because it's prison. If it was
Yeah.
jail, they would be weak.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, no, because that one guy has sex with Ripley.
That's different. She's like the one female that showed up on the planet. I'm
Yeah.
surprised she wasn't other pieces of meat
And that dude dies like instantly.
after banging her.
Yeah. He's like,
My dick's
bang.
falling off.
Yeah.
You got acid.
Although the one thing that was crazy in that, so like, I don't know if you saw the part, but where the alien comes through the ceiling and pulls the guy up into it.
No,
Oh
I
man,
stopped watching it.
you should try it. Like,
Yeah, maybe I'll give it a
it's
chance.
background. It's a good background movie, but like, there's certain parts where you're like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
like in this cafeteria and they're having this meeting. And like, what are we gonna do? Because they don't have guns and all this and that. And the
Yeah.
aliens just like comes out of the ceiling like while this one guy's talking and just snatches him and brings him up like super fast. And like everybody's like, what the fuck? What? They're like going and looking, and like the thing like tears them apart, so blood just like comes down through the ceiling, and then they have to like clean it up, and there's a guy like mopping, like looking up under, like trying to clean up the blood.
That's funny.
So 3 wasn't great, but
Resurrection. That's 4, right?
Resurrection is 4. It's an entertaining movie, but it's so far off from anything else.
I just feel like
that-
they gave that director the keys and was like, have at it.
Yeah, like the
And
ships
Ron-
are all
Yeah.
weird, and having a cripple guy, like nobody wants a cripple on there.
No, that was weird. Now, did that movie come out right around The Matrix? No. Yeah, hold on. Alien Resurrection 97? Am I right? Why doesn't it say on IMDb? Yeah, 97. So I want to say like Matrix came out 98, 99. It kind of,
99, yeah.
not that it had like the Matrix vibe, but like the lighting in it, that
Yeah.
dark, that was kind of similar. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just was, for me, I liked it, but like at the same time, it was kind of like ridiculous with all the outlaws that showed up and all that.
Mm.
It was a weird story, but I don't know. It was cool. I mean, I thought it was a cool way to, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just know it was interesting to see like the Ripley character be like this different type of person, like a different, like altogether wasn't the
Yeah.
same person that we've seen in the previous movies. Now it's like this new character, but still with the same name and all that, but now it has like kind of a different role because she's technically like an alien.
Yeah.
Like she's technically the xenomorph, but in a humanoid human body.
Yeah, because she's a clone, and part of the
Yeah.
alien was in her from Alien 3. So her DNA was kind of mixed with it.
Right. Which probably doesn't make sense, but I get it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
What I do know is Ron Perlman, I guess the director worked with them on some other stuff. So like them two are butsy. So that's kind of the reason why he got this role. But I mean, Ron Perlman still did good for himself regardless. I think he worked on another film with this same director, this Jean Pierre Unet. But
Yeah, I don't know. That one definitely was not my favorite. I mean, this one
no,
and three.
who's that Mexican guy? That's like he always plays. Yeah, Raymond. Yeah, Raymond Cruz. He always plays like a gangbanger. He was in Breaking Bad and like Better Call Saul. He played that really psychopath cartel guy. Like he was just coked out all the time, and if you said something wrong, he'd like literally blow your fucking brains out right on the spot, and then be like, and then start laughing. Um, he starts like freaking out when he finds out Winona is an AI, and he's like, "Oh my god, you're one of those AIs that built themselves. Holy crap! I never thought I'd see one of those. Holy crap!" And he's just like going fucking nuts.
Yeah,
And then she lets him die anyway. So, spoilers.
but yeah, if you haven't seen it since 1997, you know,
Yeah. I forget how Resurrection ends.
they
I
get to
think
the ship, don't they? And then they get off.
yeah, they always get to the ship. But then they like it was kind of nice though. So like
Oh,
they
they
end.
crash the ship into Earth or something, don't they?
Oh right. Yeah, but I think they got out though too.
Did they?
They might have. I forget. But
Yeah, who knows?
regardless, though, I mean, that was kind of a good way to just end it with the whole Ripley thing.
Yeah,
Because I would probably say that the Ripley thing was just kind of dragging out. It like because like after James Cameron, in my mind, they were just giving directors like the keys and like, hey, see what you can do with this.
yeah.
You know, because Ripley, I don't know why they didn't, why Ripley was taken out of it, you know, beforehand. But yeah, I don't know. Or not Ripley, Ridley. God, the names are
Oh,
so fucking similar. Ridley Scott. So I don't know why they took him away from directing after that first one. I mean, it seems like the first one did really well. But yeah, like Aliens 3, they gave it to this guy David Fincher. Then
maybe because
Resurrection,
they
they gave.
knew that those weren't going to be, you know,
Yeah, maybe just we
good.
just need to get something out there to make some money, you know, to
Yeah.
keep this relevant. I don't know. But
I mean, he probably had
yeah,
other movies he was working on. I mean, Alien was what, 79?
right. Yeah, I don't know what Ridley Scott, what he ended up directing. I'll click on him real quick. I'll get a little. We'll see what a little highlight of what he's
He had
known
Blade
for.
Runner in 82.
Ooh, did he actually direct it, or was he just the producer? Producer,
On
uncredited.
Blade Runner?
Yeah, it shows producer. He produced The
No, it
Martian.
says Ridley Scott was the director of Blade Runner.
Really? I'm showing like on his profile, it shows he's a. Yeah, IMDb is wrong. Yeah, no, I see it now. Yeah, he did do Blade Runner. Interesting.
And Blade Runner 2049. Oh, he didn't direct it, but I'm pretty sure he was part of it.
He also directed Thelma and Louise. I actually never like seen that. I've seen parts of it, but I've never seen the whole movie. Um, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to understand. Like I just know like I think they decide to become outlaws. Oh, he did The Martian too. So he did some other good movies.
He's had some terrible movies, though, too. Like, oh, so he did Gladiator.
Not
I
The
like
Martian
that.
with Matt Damon.
And did The Last Duel. Did you ever watch that? That's a
No.
terrible movie. That had Matt
Probably why it's
Damon.
not showing up here. Matt Damon.
Exodus, Gods and Kings. That was dumb. Robin Hood with what's his face? That was terrible.
Who, Costner?
No, the other guy. The guy from Gladiator. What's his nose? Fucking Russell Crowe.
He
was in Robin Hood. He did a Robin Hood.
Russell Crowe did Robin Hood?
Yeah, in 2010.
Oh.
And Ridley Scott did it.
Wild.
Anyways.
But Ridley Scott made his comeback in 2012.
Yeah. He did Prometheus. Which
Yeah, and that's actually the first movie I saw out of this entire franchise.
mm-hmm. Which doesn't actually really have an alien until the very end of it.
Right. I didn't know what I was getting into when I watched it. I just thought it was another space movie. I had no idea that these were related. And then at the end, all of a sudden, I started seeing the aliens, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then I realized, oh, this is part of the Aliens franchise. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like, did they just, like, fucking add the aliens in this? Yeah, like, they just, like...
Copyright infringement somehow.
Right, yeah, and, like, it's, like, one of the best movies that came out. Yeah. No, I thought it was a good movie. Yeah, like, it was slow, like, trying to understand what they were getting to and all that. And then, eventually, once you saw the alien, you know. Now, if I saw the other movies, I probably would have caught on right away, seeing, like, you know, everybody's in cryovats. There's this AI that's just kind of walking around.
Yeah.
And even, like, some of the scenes when they're, like, in the cargo bay are similar to the Alien movies anyways. So...
a lot of people that follow the Alien franchise don't like the last two. Because it doesn't really follow the books as well.
Yeah.
I still think that they're good movies. I like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but the whole what do you call them? Maker people.
Yeah.
They're really not how it was portrayed.
Well, that's the whole point of Prometheus. They're trying to find the origins of mankind.
Yeah. The creators or whatever they call them.
Yeah. And then
the not mechanics. What do they call them? Now I can't think of it.
I don't know. It's actually been a while. I didn't watch Prometheus recently. It's been a little bit of time since I last watched it. I think they're the creators or the forefathers. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like
that Wayland, it's the Wayland Corporation. Peter Wayland is the guy in Prometheus. That's at the very end.
Oh yeah, the guy that played in Iron Man. He played the Mandarin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now in Covenant, I guess I don't remember that part, but in Covenant,
Guy Pearce.
he comes back in a clip, and it's like David having a flashback to his like original trainings or something with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the guy's like naming him is like, what is he's showing a picture or a statue to David with a huge dong, and he's like, "You're David. What's your name?" It's David. Yeah, no, I thought Prometheus was good. I thought it was a good sci-fi movie. Like I said, at first I had no idea this had anything to do with the aliens when I first watched it. I thought it was going to be like something like Interstellar or something like that. I didn't know what the fuck I was getting into. And then like, yeah, dude, Michael Fassbender, he plays a incredibly creepy AI robot.
Right.
Like, hands down, yeah. Oh yeah, Idris Elba was in it. He was the black guy in charge of
Yeah,
everything. He's a
he's always a badass.
he is, dude. I love when that guy's in movies. He played in what's that movie with yeah, it's something Rim. Pacific
Pacific
Rim.
Rim. Pacific
Yeah.
Rim Job.
Yeah, he played in
Love that.
Pacific Rim Job. Yeah. It was he was badass in that too. And then he
And
played in
Suicide Squad.
yeah,
The
dude.
second one.
It was like the most badass role he had. I don't know where he's from though. He's got or is he from America and he just has an awesome
No,
British
he's
accent?
British. He's
Oh.
British. You're not coming from America with a name like that.
What if he came from fucking New Zealand? How would you feel about that? You would hate him. You'd be like, fuck him. Fuck Idris.
I probably can't hate him then because of that's like a hate crime. If he's
Yeah.
black.
Now, the only thing that I missed was, or that I can't remember from Prometheus, so she gets off the planet then. Elizabeth Shaw.
Yeah, they take one of the ships
Yeah.
that's designed to go to each planet by the engineers. That's what they call
Oh, the engineers.
them. Yeah.
But she brings it back to like Earth, and then that's how Covenant starts then.
No, they don't go to Earth. They go to the planet where the engineers are.
Oh.
That's where Covenant is. They're
Oh, and they run into her down there?
so David takes her on one of the ships that they found on that planet.
Wait, Jared.
What?
Something happened. It stopped recording.
Mine's showing live recording.
Fuck, then I'm not recording. Oh, this ain't good. Why is
Are
it
you
doing
sure?
this? I have no idea.